Hi guys, welcome to Black Sheep Tarot. Today I was called to do a pick a pile reading for you guys. And when I'm having a day where I just kind of feel off, or something's weighing on me, or something's kind of just hanging out there, wreaking havoc in the back of my mind, and I'm not quite in the headspace to do an unbiased card reading on myself, I love hopping on YouTube and seeing that one of my favorite YouTube tarot readers has uploaded a video caption along the lines of, this was meant to find you, or this message is you, or, this video has popped on your screen for a reason, because usually it's pretty spot on. And if it's not, I know right away and I can find another one, but the energy kind of will resonate and tell you quick. So these videos hold through space and time, so it will find the right person at the right time. So that is why we can just have these 3 piles and kind of have it be for anyone. So use a second and tune into your intuition and see if you can pick a pile that you're drawn to, and go ahead and fast forward until you see me kind of get to that pile and check out your reading. If you're drawn to more than one, you can check them both out. You might have a lot going on. There may be multiple messages since it is a general reading. I typically find that one pile is enough for me, unless I'm kind of searching for something and I'm not as objective going in as I should be. If I'm looking for a certain message or certain reassurance, I'll tend to want to look in all the piles. But that's me, and that's my issue. If you don't have that issue, discard what I just said. But I just want to kind of put that disclaimer out there to be self-aware and make sure you're kind of not waiting for something you want to hear if you're looking for some true insight. But that being said, if you do feel drawn to 2 piles, feel free to watch them both. So this is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. We'll start with the Modern Witch. In the Quartz. And I love Modern Witch. It has really cool illustrations. Their take on like the classic characters is pretty cool. And I love the bright teal back to them. But that's kind of a sassy deck. It is. It's a little sassier than my other decks. And I've had it going on 3 months now. And it does not kind of ever soften. It doesn't give. My other decks will start to bend and be really pliable and shuffle super easily. Once they're broken in, and these guys just kind of don't break in. They're tough, they're strong, they're stubborn, a little bit sassy. So if that sounds like you, maybe that's part of why you were drawn to this deck, but it doesn't have to, because I'm really not sassy or anything. And I love Modern Tarot too, but there's lots of ways the cosmos work. All right, I love this scarf. My girlfriend gave it to me to keep my tarot cards in. I think it's a beautiful backdrop, but I may not use it moving forward since it keeps getting caught. Sorry, it wrinkles like that. Isn't it cute though? And my friend at work who got it for me, she's into cards and crystals and all that too, and her name is Crystal. Isn't that perfect? Okay, back to you. You're the important one. You're the one we're doing this spread for. Okay. 6 of Swords reversed, 3 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords. Okay. 4 of Swords reversed. Okay. So I'm going to try to keep all kind of interpretations of what these cards are out in the open for you, or explain them all to you, because there are going to be some variants, but this looks to me like you are having some issues that you may be unaware of, actually, with the Five of Swords. That's kind of the card of the sneakiness. If not at your workplace, a place where you're in a group of people. Maybe it's a club. I don't want to say it's like a group of friends per se, unless that group of friends has some structure behind it, like you're a part of an organization, or you collaborate on things sometimes. Because with all these pentacles here, it has something to do with likely money, likely your job, but it's something else that mirrors a job, something that requires some type of responsibility or has some type of organization. And so I feel like right now you are not thinking of going anywhere, because I'm guessing you're happy. So Six of Swords in reverse, that's kind of like making a break, making an escape, kind of, you know, in an emotional way. It's not a very peaceful, like, oh, I, you know, got a better offer over here. It's closer to home, closer to my kids' school. Oh, we got a jumper. Let's see. Queen of Cups. All right. It's kind of an emotional departure. It doesn't have to be a huge blowout, but it's definitely an emotional departure. It's not like a super practical departure. And you have this in reverse, which is saying that it might be something it's something you're not considering. It's not an outcome you see. It's not something you are contemplating at this time, in spite of what's going on, because there's a lot of positive collaboration right now with what you're doing and where you're at. Like, it's probably the beginning phases of a project, or maybe earlier in your job, or earlier at a promotion. On the surface, what you're doing is working out for you. You're starting to make some money, maybe a little more money than you were before. You're having positive interactions with your immediate counterparts. However, there's a little Five of Swords energy going on. And you know, this could be you as well. It could be you as well. So if you're doing something that maybe you're wondering, like, well, they didn't specifically say I could do this, but they didn't say I couldn't. Or, you know, I'm doing this, but I'm doing it for X, Y, and Z, and that's why it's justified, even though, you know, other people would be mad if they knew you were doing it. You need to be careful, because either that's happening or somebody around you is acting in a way, or taking action, or gossiping, or talking, or setting things up in a sneaky way. The Five of Swords is all about kind of being sneaky, playing dirty. See, she like snuck and like stole the swords from her other counterparts. Yeah, it's kind of the card of that. So you're over here happy. You're not thinking of leaving at this point, because for the most part it's working out. The money, the collaboration, the environment, good. But there's something going on behind the scenes. If it's you, you need to maybe cut it out, because what it's saying, okay, is this sneakiness, whether it be you or someone around you that you need to be kind of aware of and look out for a little more, could result in a loss of this. Okay, the Five of Pentacles is the result of loss. Typically money, typically financial opportunities, typically concrete, worldly things, okay, because Pentacles are earth energy. And especially having this come up after the Three of Pentacles, Five of Swords, okay. And with the Four of Swords here in reverse too, it's showing that this could result in this pretty suddenly, because, you know, the Four of Swords upright is kind of meditation, contemplation, but over traumatic things. This isn't like you're peaceful, go into the Zen garden and, you know, and get to your happy place. This is like when you've gone through something that's really stressed you out and hurt you, or you're going to, it's that type of contemplation, that type of meditating, that rest, that like recuperation, that like getting ready for it. And with this being in reverse, there's not going to be that process to it. I think it's going to be kind of sudden. And, you know, the point of getting readings is because there's always course correction, right? Like energy can always change. And any predictions of the future that the cards give you are, this is how it's going based on now, okay? Because of free will, there is no concrete, definite future. There's paths that you're going to take, and your path might reroute and you'll get back on the right path. You might be destined to meet a person, but you know, you might meet them in a way that wasn't how you were going to originally meet them, etc., etc. So there's lots of, there's ways to correct it. So I'm not saying you're happy here, you don't want to leave. I'm not saying to leave. And secondly, don't ever listen to anyone who tells you to do things that don't resonate with you, that you think sound stupid. But if you are looking for something you need to hear, something you need to be aware of, it's either kind of check yourself if you feel like you know you're kind of stretching some boundaries, or pay a little more attention to the people around you that you think are all for you in this situation, because you know, they might not be. And if that energy continues to grow, it could result in you losing what you have going on right now. So just be a little more aware of the people around you. Just don't be so open. Don't be so trusting. And this, again, it's sneakiness. It's not an outward attack. So just even by holding your cards a little closer to your chest, not putting everything out there so much, keeping your eyes peeled, that might be all the prevention you need. It's not a confrontation card, right? It's not a fight. It's not an overt attack. It's some sneakiness happening that could result in this turning to this. So again, it might not even be something that turns into a big issue. Just be aware. Don't kind of get caught up in the excitement and happiness and the blissfulness of everything is wonderful and let your guard down all the way. Or if this is you, don't get caught up in kind of the excitement of kind of flying under the radar so far, because you're not going to for long. So, and you know, while I was kind of messing around with the cards over off to the side, the Queen of Cups jumped out at me. And I couldn't tell if she wanted to go reverse. Wait, let's see. Yeah. Well, I don't know if she wants... So this might give you a clue as to the person doing this. It might be someone who's very emotional. Like queens are usually regal and wonderful, but if you're asking for a hint for who it is, it's probably someone with a more feminine energy. It doesn't have to be a female, but someone with a feminine energy who's very emotional. And they could be doing this for emotional reasons, or they might just be a little emotionally unstable. Or if you're feeling a little emotionally unstable, kind of look to that, okay? Because that is kind of your clue, I suppose. So that's not like super cheery, but it's probably helpful, right? If you are kind of wondering what's going on. And yeah, so I would say if you have plenty of time, nothing's transpired yet, just nip your little shenanigans in the bud, or open your eyes a little bit more to the people who are around you. And you're being warned about this because this is a good situation that you don't want to leave. So Spirit doesn't want to see you end up in this position where you lose it. And the fact that you're getting this warning now, and the fact that you found this video now, means, you know, you are probably supposed to be here, and it is probably a good fit for you. And this is just life on earth, and this is kind of what you got to do to ensure that it stays. And this Queen of Cups being so emotional, the situation could be very fleeting, You know, it's not, it's water, right? It's wishy-washy, it comes, it goes. So this could be something that when you take care of it now does not reappear and does not cause problems for you again. The water is the most impermanent situation, suit, element. So, okay. All right, pile one, good luck with that. I hope you have a great day and you can save that awesome experience you're having with your Three of Pentacles, because you're probably very talented, especially if you're seeing this in the Modern Witch deck instead of the Rider-Waite deck, because this deck really focuses on a lot of creative expression and immense talent and naked people apparently, but all right, have a good one. Okay, pile two. You have the Illuminated Tarot. So this is cool. This is one of my newer decks, but full disclosure, it is a little bit different than the traditional 78 card deck because they have kind of hybrid this. They have hybrid some of the major arcana into the minor arcana cards. So some of the cards have dual meanings, and they have also hybrid some of the suits, like the elements, I should say. Water. Well, the suits are wands, swords, pentacles, wands, and cups. Okay, so that's earth, water, fire, air. Not corresponding in that order, but they flip it a little bit here, and they do it with the suit decks for cards, like diamonds, clubs. You know, so then you can use this for tarot or for playing cards. I would never use it for playing cards, I don't think. Maybe, I mean, things change, but right now I don't think I ever would, because I think it would put weird energy on them to use them for things besides reading. But you technically can, and the fact that it's so unconventional, and you were drawn to this deck, okay, it's unconventional in a tarot sense, but it's actually trying to be more conventional. Like you could disguise, like if you were kind of embarrassed, like if you're in a closet about using cards or whatever, or if you were really like, you're around really conservative, traditional people who might think they're like evil or whatever, you could disguise them as playing cards. So I wonder if you chose this pile, if you're drawn to this pile, if you guys are my more cynical, non-believery, or, you know, skeptical type people. You don't have to be, but I wouldn't be surprised if kind of people of that mindset were drawn to this deck, because it's not quite so full-blown traditional tarot, but it will still give you a good reading, and I'm still glad you're here. And let's see what we got for you. This has just beautiful artwork though. I think you need to be shuffled one more time. The question is, if you are cynical and you don't believe, and you're just checking this out for fun, if it does resonate, is that going to make you think anything differently, or did you just find this by coincidence? That's what I wonder. I wonder how many of you still kind of believe in coincidences. Okay, final shuffle. And let's go. Two of Wands, Diamonds, Seven of Hearts. Ooh, I wonder if any of you are Capricorn. So, this could be the Ram or the Goat. Any Capricorns or Aries, I wonder. Okay. So, along with these being my new deck and a little bit of a hybrid and not your traditional deck, I'm going to have to reference back real quick in this little book that came with it, because I think that I know, but I just want to double check really, really, really quickly, okay? I'm just cross-referencing. It'll only take a second. Wish I had some music for you. Okay. Ooh. All right. Okay. So this is a little bit interesting. I mean, they all are. This could go a couple different ways. So I'm going to go with what I'm thinking first. And I'm getting a little bit of Romeo and Juliet vibes, a little bit. I think. Yeah. So you are having a bit of a conflict with someone at the moment. Okay, and I guess it doesn't even have to be conflict, but two is like the Two of Clubs, which is kind of the Two of Wands, is a passionate conversation or debate. And coming up beyond with the Jack of Diamonds, which is diamonds or pentacles, okay? I should have them down here. To the Jack of Diamonds, it's like fascination, wonder, scholarships, learning, blah, blah, blah. And this is secrets or new feelings. And then down here, we have like an authority figure, the Emperor, that's kind of like a father figure. Traditional family, like foundations, building things through hard work and a lot of structure. And then the Five of Hearts, which is the Five of Cups, and that translates, this translates almost exactly through the way Rider-Waite does, where you've got 3 vases of flowers that are spilled and 2 that are upright. And there is a tendency, like in the Rider-Waite deck, the character on the card is looking to the 3 cards or cups that have spilled with his back to the 2 that are upright. So honestly, if I'm going to read this straight through, you're in kind of a new place. And this may be a physical place. I don't know if you've actually moved to a new place or like a new school or workplace where you're around different types of people, or you're embarking on some type of new adventure, or you're like learning a new skill where you're at. But while you're in this environment, you are starting to have some feelings. And I guess they don't have to be feelings for somebody, okay? It was suggested it's kind of a crush, but I guess you could even just have a passion towards a new type of interest, a new type of way of life, okay? Oh my gosh, I wonder if it's you people who are kind of interested in tarot cards, low key, but you're from a very traditional background that doesn't believe in them, and that's why you were drawn to this pile. Remember I said that? I don't know, maybe. But you're engaging in passionate discussions or debates with somebody, whether, and this could go 2 ways. For some of you, it's going to be this father figure below you, parental figure, authority figure, whoever this is in your life. That's kind of not about these new explorations and feelings and like platitudes you're exploring, okay? So for some of you, you're constantly kind of debating with this person. For some of you, if this is a crush, if this is a person who came into your life recently that's a new crush, it's a new, or, a newly developed relationship, that this person wouldn't approve of. You guys are probably still kind of having heated debates a little bit, but they are opening your eyes, and your mind and your heart to these kind of new ways of doing things, okay? And it's giving you secret feelings. But down here, again, you're running into this person who doesn't approve or want this for you because, you know, this is a person to be respected because they have achieved a lot. They've built a home or family or legacy, and they did it a very specific way. And they worked really hard. And they do deserve credit for that. However, the flip side to that is they're a little bit narrow-minded and egotistical now. They feel like they were so successful. Everyone should listen to them. They found the key to success. And you should do it their way. And they think their way is the right way because it worked for them and it was the right way for them, but they're projecting it and they think it's the right way for everyone. And they can only see the pitfalls of you going a different way, okay? They're only seeing the 3 cups down. And the other thing this card is telling me, okay, is that this isn't a bad choice for you. I'm a parent and, you know, I can understand the urge to want to tell your kids this is probably a parent, but like I said, any type of authority figure that has a strong presence in your life. I understand the urge to want my kids to do what has been proven safe to me because I want to protect them and I love them. And I did dumb things when I was younger, so dumb. I'm lucky to be alive, probably, you know, if I really sat and looked at it. And I think about that and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, so I remember my headspace when I did those dumb things. And now that I have wisdom and maturity behind it, I know how dumb they were and I would now want my kids to do that, okay? Even though I would understand why they would think it was okay because I've been there. This isn't that situation for you because this isn't a card of things that go wrong. This isn't a card of catastrophe. This isn't the card of a bad fallout. This is the card of, yeah, there could be some issues with it. There's some down. And mainly the issues are probably going to be what this person sees as the fallout. But there's still 2 upright. There's also great things to be found along this path with this person or this life path. So this is kind of just explaining where you're at, but as far as advice goes, like for messages you need to hear, I'm going to pull you another one just to reassure you because I know when there is someone in your life you respect and you care about what they think, it's hard, it hurts to feel like you're hurting them by going against them a little bit, right? But you have the 8 of Diamonds here explain to you why they feel this way. The why they feel this way has nothing to do with you. So it's not, that's a message in the sense that they don't feel this way. This card is not a card of another person. This is a card of building a foundation and a family and a life for themselves through the things they did, okay? And because they did these things, it's why they want you to do these things, because it worked for them. And then we already talked about this, right? They're focusing on what could go wrong, but there's a lot that could go right. So there is advice in here in the sense that if you are worried, like, are they right? Is this going to be a disaster for me? Is this terrible? No, it's not. They're not right in that sense, okay? They're not right that this is going to be bad for you. And that said, I think this is a necessary journey for you, but it's not giving you an outcome either. These are very present tense cards, okay? So this is not saying, here's your happily ever after, or here is the way it's going to go forever. Sometimes you do have to embark on things just to learn the lessons. So I don't want to promise that it's going to I'm not going to ever make a promise. But it's not, I'm not trying to say that it's like, say this is a crush. I'm not trying to say, oh, this is the person. These cards are saying, yeah, this is kind of a cool journey for you. And it's okay that he doesn't agree. And this is why he doesn't agree, or she, authoritative, doesn't agree because over here. But that doesn't mean it's not good for you. This is saying that it is, you have curiosities, you have new feelings about it, and you're excited, and you have like mental stimulation, you want to explore it. And if it's a person, it's saying, yeah, you should maybe like see what's up with this person and kind of explore a little bit. But it's not saying like, oh, this is your husband or your wife and you were going to marry them and live happily ever after. It's not projecting a ton into the future. I think the reason these cards are here is to tell you, number one, you know, that spirit sees you, but to explain where this person is coming from a little more. Because maybe if this debate you're having with them has been a little harsh, if they were harsh on you, it's coming from a good place, but that doesn't mean you have to listen to them. And, or if you were harsh on them because you just think they have control issues, which actually I think they probably do, but the control issues don't come from an egotistical place of just wanting to be in control. They come from a place of wanting you to find the success they found. Let me just pull you one more card because I said I would, even though I think I've kind of figured out what the message is within these cards trying to tell you your situation, but I told you I would, so I will. But basically, yeah, it's time for you to start some type of new adventure a little bit. It could be a little adventure. Going to the grocery store can be an adventure. If you're going to a new one in a different town. To get some, I don't know, Cool Ranch Doritos. Because your store only carries nacho cheese. All right, we have it over. Just kidding. You should eat healthy, guys. Really healthy. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so 7 of Wands again. Yeah, so you're going to be having some conflict. Let me see if they say anything else in this book for this deck, but it's just telling you. It's going to be a little bit of a fight, but it'll be okay. Yeah, vigilance, a struggle to stay ahead. Okay, so just, you don't have to fight for this, but you probably, I'm thinking you want to because you are already. And it's not going to be quickly resolved or quickly smoothed over, but it's going to be okay. Because this person does come from a place of caring about you. And eventually, you know, you have to give people freedom when you care about them. And there's good things to be had. And it's just exciting. And sometimes you got to fight for things that you want. And if it's important to you and you're feeling really drawn to it, it's going to be a little bit of a fight, but you're not wrong. Okay? All right. So have fun on your journey. If some of you have cool journeys you want to share below, that'd be neat. I want to know what journey you're on. What is this new thing? I had an experience like this. I went to beauty school. And my parents wanted me to go to college because, I mean, that would be a smart thing to do. But I was so ADD and I'm so creative. And I would have just partied my ass off and wasted everybody's money and time. And beauty school ended up working out great for me. And now I do tarot. There wasn't a tarot school, but, you know, I come across it. And, I mean, my brother's a lawyer. My sister's a lawyer. My dad's a lawyer. So trust me, I feel ya. I feel ya on the things of family pressure. But you do, I don't regret. When I was younger, I regretted not going to college because just because it seemed like all my friends who went to college were making more money than me at a certain period of time. But now, when you stick with the trade long enough and you build up and you get some business acumen and stuff like that, I mean, some of them make more money than me, some of them make less money than me. And I've also realized that, like, as long as I can provide for myself and my kids, money is not the end all be all anyway. So in my older wizened state, I don't regret my choice. So now we're on to pile 3. Hi guys. You picked my Rider-Waite, my favorite child. My Rider-Waite's my favorite child. They are straightforward. They tell me what's up. they're helpful. Yeah. I keep getting them fancy brothers and sisters because it's fun to have the variety and fun to have the reading, but I really don't think anything really... Sometimes I can get tired of their tone because they're a little redundant. Sometimes they're not going to give it to me flowery or fancy, but really nothing beats a Rider-Waite reading, I don't think. But I am someone who likes to change things up, so I don't always use them. And now that the other cards are out of earshot, I can tell you this is my favorite deck. And I hope they have some good messages for you today. Okay, well, anybody who knows anything about tarot knows the Tower is not such a good card. However, everybody's life is a little different, right? So the Tower card is not always a building crashing down. I have pulled the Tower card twice for myself in the last couple months. And I'll tell you what they are before I do your reading, just to give you a little peace of mind, okay? Like, if you are in a precarious situation, in a dangerous situation, you probably do need to get out, because then a Tower can be the card of worst case scenario. But for me, I got the Tower card twice. And when I pull a card in the morning, I don't look like, oh, my day is predestined, right? Energy is always shifting, and the cards tell you what's there if you do not course correct a little bit, okay? So for me, the last two times I pulled the Tower card, one time it was in the morning and I was like, oh no. But I'm always very careful when I pull the Tower card. Like, it's kind of boring, just be careful today. The first time I pulled it, I'm not sure if my caution would have prevented anything or not. Maybe I could have thought a little further ahead for certain things, but it was just one of those days. Nothing catastrophic happened, no car accidents, no deaths, nothing like that. But it was just one of those days where everything went wrong. I ran out of gas, which I should have known to text the Tower card, right? Like, everywhere I went, I had to wait in 100 lines. My phone stopped working, like it just died for no reason. And I had to go to my mom's house, use her phone to get through to the AT&T people who just sent me to different representatives on a loop. I was on the phone for 3 hours dealing with that, and I got nothing done that I was supposed to get done. And then I think my daughter got hurt. Nothing injury, but she got hurt at a friend's house. I had to go pick her up, and they couldn't get through to me because my phone was dead, and just like that type of stuff. The first time I got the Tower card. The second time I got the Tower card was I was going out with my husband, and we hadn't been out in a long time. We were like, oh my gosh, we have to go get out and be ourselves a little bit, not just like mommy and daddy kind of. And so we were going to bar hop a little bit, but we're always careful. We don't drink and drive. We're, have one, drink a bunch of water, settle down, go to the next place. So I pulled the Tower, and my husband's a believer now, so he's like, oh, babe, maybe we shouldn't go. And I'm like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't. And I'm like, oh, no, but we have to. I'm losing my mind. It was in the middle of summer, and we had just done a lot of really kid-centric stuff, which is wonderful, and there's nothing I love more than my kids and spending time with them. But you know how it is when you're just like with kids all the time and you need a break. So I was like, this is just a warning to be careful. We'll go on it. We'll just be really, really careful. And we were so careful. But I'll tell you what, I live in an area, I wouldn't say it's under policed, but I wouldn't say it's heavily policed either. And we were out maybe 3 hours, and we drove around a little bit. We saw 6 cop cars. We pulled up next to one at a light. One was behind us 2 or 3 different times. One ended up parking, I think, like 2 spots away from us. Like, there were cops everywhere. So if we had sped even by a little bit or played with the drinking limit, which we never would, but weren't overly vigilant and missed you know, rolled through a stop sign or something like that, we would have for sure gotten a ticket, because they were just, they were everywhere. We were being watched. So in that case, the tower was helpful, right? Because I watched everything and we didn't get pulled over. Okay, so anyways, back to you. I just want to reassure you about that before we get to your tower. So this is telling me you are a pretty steadfast person. You are content where you're at. Your head's not off in the cloud, you know, with the 3 wands in reverse. You're not thinking of other places. You're not contemplating travel too much. You're not kind of looking at what else is out there so much. You're pretty content with where you're at. You're focused. And the Page of Swords in reverse is kind of saying the same thing, okay? Because the Page, this is immature mental energy in reverse. So you are a very mature, solid person, okay? And the Hierophant as well, just kind of, it's another reaffirmation of the same thing. The Hierophant is like a high authority figure. So I don't know if you run your home a bit authoritatively, or you are in a position of authority at work, or you are just a very kind of traditional, black and white, by the books, clear-cut person. So this is kind of all telling me where you're at in your life. And this work habit down here, the 8 of Pentacles, is kind of showing that too, because you're putting in all the work and you are slowly accumulating your foundation and your wealth and your material items. And this is one of 2 things, okay? So either this is a card of abundance. So either this slowly building of your wealth and abundance, either it's gotten you to the point where you are very abundant now and you are wealthy, or sometimes this is a woman who is kind of like well off. So if you have a woman in your life who is sort of well off, this could be about her. So depending, and you know what, not necessarily a woman, but someone with feminine energy, okay? Someone who is reaping the benefits of your worldly kind of, you know, the stuff you've acquired. Or this is just the next step to this, right? Because see, it's 8, 9. 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. You do this for a while, you get to this. So you know your situation's a general reading. There could be some of each of you out there. All right. You, it says, are going, in regards to this, there's going to be a little bit of a tower moment. If you think this has to do with the person you're with, okay, check up on them a little bit, right? Just check in with that relationship, check in with their habits, check in with their spending, just, hey, how's it going? About you. Don't be accusatory. Don't be like, this crazy lady on YouTube told me you were spending all my money, or, you know, anything like that. But keep your eyes open and just poke around a little bit. Just see what's going on here financially. If there is not another person involved and it's you, and this is just all the money you've had, you are positioned for a little bit of either a big expense, or maybe you've invested in something that isn't going to do as well, or maybe you're going to have a house repair, or maybe I don't see you spending irresponsibly, because these are all up here trying to tell me like you're not frivolous. So I'm going to pull another one and just see if it's not this person, if it's you, what area it's going to come in and what you can do about it. Or maybe you're thinking of investing in something, or maybe you're thinking of buying something and it's saying it's not going to be a good idea. I mean, because this is, let's see. Or maybe it's happened already. Are you already going through a tower moment? You're the first deck I'm going to really, let me see. I'm going to pull a few more for you for this one, because you got the tower, so you deserve some explanation. Let's see. Maybe you're just gonna find out your kid needs braces. Dude, my kid, I took him to the orthodontist today. Do you know how much braces are? Whoa, I just tried to shuffle. That's totally wrong. I should pull the Tower after some Pentacles for these braces. Let's see. All right, what? Give us some more information for pile 3 on the Tower, and what actions, if any, you can take to prevent or recover. One more, guys. I take it back. One more. A new day. Okay, so maybe you've already had your Tower moment. All right, if you haven't already had your Tower moment yet, or if you're going, if you have or if you haven't, there's really not a lot you're gonna be able to do about it. I think this is just kind of a heads up, either mentally, if you haven't had it yet, just kind of mentally prepare, maybe set a little extra aside, or don't be shocked or whatever when it happens. And because it's saying you get the sun, which is a new day, everything, sun rises, flowers, everything's shiny, everything's fine. And this is the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. 7 of Pentacles is working hard to try to get a harvest, to try to, this would be like if you need to try to remake some of that money back. And then the Knight of Pentacles is the card of financial action. And they're both in reverse, which is saying you're not going to have to go try to make all this money back, and you're not going to have to take a lot of financial action. You know, your Tower followed by the sun, that's about the best. That's what I'd want. If I got the Tower, I'd want the sun right after. So you're going to have a new day after this, if it's happened already or if it's going to happen. And you're not going to have to like start over from scratch, okay? So it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Just heads up if it hasn't happened yet. Don't be shocked at a new expense. Be cautious. Maybe you'll have a situation like with me where like, oh, they were about to charge my debit card for an unwanted expense and I didn't spend my money on that. Or, oh, wait, I should check my wallet for my debit card because maybe somebody took it and they're trying to ring up charges. You know, stuff like that. It could be just a heads up to like watch anything money related. And you might be able to prevent it, and it could be something super minor. Because it's a quick recovery. Quick recovery. Blows over, bright sunny day right after. Not having to do a lot to recoup any losses. So, you know, it'll be all right. Sorry to give you a Tower reading, but it really is looking like it's going to be okay. So, all right, pile 3. Just focus on this card. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. Sorry for my son. Not really. All right, guys. Well, that is it. And I hope you all have a good day. I hope some messages resonated. I hope you got some insight. I hope you got some clarity. And that is all she wrote for today. Have a good one. Bye.